Hello, everybody. Today we'll be going over Phoenix Journal number 7, starting with Chapter 1. And this will also include the original commandments given to us by God. Alright, let's get started. I am Aton to counsel, Dharma, in the glory of that which is. There is so much to be written and rewritten, for man pays little attention to that which has previously been given unto him. Each time, however, that it is again brought into his attention, he pays a bit more attention. That which was brought forth 30 of your years ago can now be uncovered and reconfirmed in truth. You humans of Earth Station are caught in a battle of life struggle, from which you must be transmuted, for you cannot simply evolve into higher substance. You have worked for far too long in the discipline of self-gratification, inbred by the Dark Masters. All the signs are present. These portions shall be placed afore the messages of 7 Kohans of the 7 rays of life. The purity of these teachers and the orders established have been degraded and the names themselves taken and usurped by the evil brotherhood, to cause the human to lose of his path unto his greater heritage. It was that these orders were established so much longer ago than you once can imagine, and were only for designation and identification that you might recognize a name, a label, just as the Master Christos has many labels according to the language and the cycle of evolution. I have had as many labels as you have groups of people. It does not mean I bear separate energies, only that man must give all things labels, for he can no longer discern pure energy in silence. You are bounded by needs of words to communicate, and still you cannot have accuracy. For instance, the Fraternitas Rosa Crucis, which was the order of the Rosy Cross, is in no way resembles that which was established, lo, those eons of sequence past. And to label yourselves in truth with those labels almost assures that you will not be acceptable as other than workers of satanic orders. For Satan has cleverly and totally absorbed the completion of peoples who call themselves by those names in your present days. Man does not wish to know of his ancestry. It is easier to drift in a sea of mystery and mysticism, of, well, I was molded out of dirt, was tempted by the serpent, will live out my life in evil, will somehow recover and meet the Master Christ somewhere in the air, sometime, somewhere, when all the signs are present. All the signs are present, children, and yet ye wallow in your preschool ignorance, accepting that which is a lie, and refusing that which is truth, and persecuting those who are given the truth in this manner. Truth-bringers do not reap great rewards from their task. They do not have seminars to entertain the masses. They do not study the great accepted authors of books of authority. They shut their mouths, open up their minds, and receive the truth. Further, unless you receive the truth, you shall not be drifting on any clouds to anywhere, except more dense recycling in nether worlds, or drifting in the same type of astral void as you have chosen up until the sequence of your current soul existence. There is only purity in the kingdoms of light. If evil touches within the kingdom of light, that portion is removed. Who is telling the truth? You once petitioned unto me, how can I tell if this one or that one is real? Is he of the truth or the lie? Most simply, my chelas, or students, most simply discerned. If he stands or sits before you and teaches less than the laws of the creation and the laws of God, he is not of me. This does not mean that man is not allowed to err, but he is not allowed to condone evil in any measure. Man does not like the laws of creation and the laws of God, so he rewrites them in order to make them right unto himself. Man has rewritten all commandments given unto him, and if one does not fit into his personal way of practice, he makes new ones. Then churches are built and reformed reformed to suit the needs of current beliefs. No, it matters not what man chooses to rewrite or reform. If he breaks the laws of creation as given, he has come into evil. The laws as given is simplicity by the original instructions from creation of earth are quite sufficient. My precious ones, it is through the neglect and reforming and false perception that your earth is now to the point of destruction. Human is a most ignorant lot, and must learn through the most difficult route, that he can conjure. So be it. Do not think that what the so-called Christians of today, or during the Crusades, or the Inquisitions, was of the law. Nay, that is of evil man's doing. These lessons will also be turned away, for truth is not that which man wishes to hear. He will continue to listen to his human teachers with the large congregations, so that he can continue in his evil ways, and consider himself blessed. He will choose of the largest congregations, in addition, that he not have to give as much proportionately. He innately knows that he is not being given the laws of God, and therefore he can fudge a bit and no one of importance will know. He knows it is not all that great to get within the inner temples of stone. I am most simple in being. My laws are most succinct, and I can most assuredly repeat them unto you. Here, for they are written in every holy book. You have even in the satanic verses, for evil must have listed the laws, that the followers of Satan know of those which to break. Satanic followers set it as their goals the breaking of each and all commandments, as given by God and creation. It gets harder and harder for them to be individual in their practices, for evil is rampant, and the rules so regularly are rewritten to suit a doctrine of a given cult, that they must get more and more heinous in their activities, in order to be different. And you ones moan and weep and proclaimed, what has become of our world? It is dying, my children. It is dying, for you have become a part of the destructive evil. Now, this is the laws of God. You shall honor the Lord thy God with all thy being, and have no other gods before you. For I have created you in the image of myself in honor, balance, and harmony, to act and become one with and within the creation. The creation alone is infinite and omnipotent, or omnipotent. The laws of the creation are infinite and total. The laws of God handed down to human are the rules to guide his life, and maintain order as should be the laws of government. The greatest of all laws of the creation is to achieve the wisdom and knowledge inasmuch as this would enable you to wisely follow the laws thereof. In knowledge and truth you shall act, through the laws of the creation, or you will be in the breaking of them. Rewriting them, according to man's translation, will not change one whit or tittle of the truth. When it is said unto you, Thou shalt not kill, there is no sometimes nor maybe. If another man attacks you with the intent to kill of you, and he dies instead, has he not committed of his own murder? But if you have provoked him into defending himself from your intent to kill, have you not committed your own suicide? Yes. A great problem arises. Who shall then execute the murderer, the rapist, etc.? He who kills is one who commits murder. Saying that a man has the deserving of death in human format, for an action is sometimes good perception, although ye are not to sit in judgment of the soul of any man. If you have confined him in physical form from physical life, is that not better than punishment? However, guilty are all who do not act in self-defense or according to a given verdict. When that one acts to kill or speak and practice evil, you have no right to take of that which I have given, for that is my judgment. This is true, be it at conception or terminal transition. If, however, you do not measure the worth of the gift of life, which I give unto you, your own being, then you have likewise discarded my truth. If the remainder of mine laws have been honored, there will be no need for abortions, for there will be no unwanted human physical babies. If laws are broken in lust and or ignorance because of false teachings of man, then an abortion is murder, and the judgment will be most harsh indeed. It does not mean that one will not be forgiven for his ignorant transgression, but to compound the crime with another and greater one is most damaging indeed. Thou shalt not commit adultery, not sometimes or maybe, never. The gift of sexual union is to create offspring that are wanted and carefully accepted. Any other use of such is to have human physical pleasure, and is therefore wrong. You wish to claim that it is a man's given right to fornicate and to seek pleasure. No. It is a testing of which you have all failed in 99.9% failure. You have overpopulated your world, And now the unbalance will cost you dearly. You have ceased to assume proper responsibility of the outcome of that behavior. You degrade it further by calling it love. Think about it. Do you not equate it to the animal behavior of the creation in nature? Animals will not populate beyond their balanced ability to survive. When they so do, they fall into hard times, and much death is wrought by nature upon them. So be it. Love has not, most wise, to do with sexual interactions. Love is pure and is from the soul mind. All else is desire from power, control, and purely physical indulgence of flesh lust. It is true that the ultimate downfall of man is as a human entity. Kingdoms have been forfeited for 30 seconds in an illicit relationship. Kingdoms fall, families are broken, hearts are broken, and lives devastated. Do not degrade the term love by calling it of such actions as love. I gave no such commandment as that a woman should be subservient unto a male in all things. That was brought forth by man, that he might indulge his physical power and control. You shall not give false oath. Do not swear on anything, for your word should be known as truth, and nothing is greater than thy word. To give oath on a book or a person is a lie from the beginning. Ye shall not ye should tell truth or ye lie. There is nothing else. Sometimes a lie is truth indeed, though. Judge ye not, lest you likewise be judged. This does not mean that you should not discern godliness from evil. It means that you should not judge the soul of another, for you have no means of doing so. If a man breaks the laws of a man, then his actions must be judged, not the soul. If the man has broken the laws of the emperor or government, and not the laws of God or the creation, and that law is not found in the laws of the creation, then the law is false. Hold no idols before you. There is no magic in a thing. Truth, wisdom, and knowledge come from within, and within that portion of self known as the soul. And all is created in manifested form from that source. No thing will do of anything save mislead you into evil. Honor of thy parents, for they have allowed you habitation for your soul, through agreement. That means to give unto them honor. It does not mean to bend and scrape or feel they are in owing unto you of anything. But as you were cared for, it is just that you in turn care for them. If they care for you not, then there is unbalance. If you pull from your responsibility to your family or your neighbor to give unto them that which is unjust, all should be cared for in love and honor of life. Do not confuse thy giving of thy tithe unto a church group of man-given doctrine with giving unto me. Very little of your gifts ever make it into mine truthful works. Be aware of the ones who pound upon you or limit thy growth as to the amount of thy giving, or they speak falsely. I also say to give thy gifts in secret. Thusly, no man shall be given to know, and if he inquires, he is of evil intent, for human purpose, and not for the kingdom of God, or the tending of the creation. He is in the solicitation of funds to keep of himself, and his temples tended. Mine work is done in the hearts of man, and not just within the stones of temples. A beauteous symbolism. The gutter is a most wondrous temple within which to begin thy work and contribution, for there is my church in trouble, aka out in the streets with these homeless people and everyone else, not just inside of our churches. Man must eat every day, not just on Easter, Christmas, and whenever there seems to be an appropriate day for a food drive. Or try thy contributions unto a survival shelter system that could also house your homeless in non-emergency times. Try thy contributions into that which puts mine words of truth before thy fellow man, that he might find of his way. No derelict would dare come into thy stone temples, to sit among the self-proclaimed elite. If he did so, he would be set aside and shunned in the happy hour of sharing. After the lecture from the self-appointed teacher, No other law needed. You must do, be, and give unto others as you would receive, if you would have a balanced, harmonious life, or world. You need no other before you, for this is one that fits all things. You would not like another to steal of thy things. You would not like your spouse to covet thy neighbor's spouse. It would make you feel most insignificant and angry. You shall simply honor that which is the creation and God's laws, in all manner, and you shall not have cause to worry about Armageddon. Continue in the way of the world, and you had better spend all your remaining time in action of cleaning up your act, I believe you once termed it. Whether you like it or do not is of no concern to me. You are going to be given truth. You who recognize of it and come unto that truth will find the eternal life, or life eternal. Those who continue to mislead and deny of my teachers, sent forth for thy account, shall wonder what happened. Truth passes by while ones allow evil to place the blindfold tightly around the eyes and ears. You are told extraterrestrials must be of evil. Why? I'm an extraterrestrial. Isu Jeesananda is an extraterrestrial. How else do you think we can come? How is it you ones only believe the evil brother? How dare you limit thy very life source, who gave unto you the very creation? Woe unto you children who turn continually to darkness, for if you do not come into knowledge, you will surely perish, with those who teach falsely unto you. You go in unto thy church houses, and a man who claims to know more than you tells you, anyone claiming to receive of God, or the masters are of the devil. How so does he claim to come by his knowledge? Oh, a book written well after the fact. Or does he claim to pray and speak to God, or the Christ, and receive a response? Else, why do you pray? How so does this happen? Children of Earth Place, my little wayward and blind children, it is time to come into knowledge and truth, and to stop your silly games, for your human placement in Earth can bear no more, and she shall be given into the rebirthing and healing of those wounds you have perpetrated upon her being. You were sent forth as caretakers of this wondrous creation, and you have destroyed your very life substance. So be it. For it shall be as it shall be, and those who are with me will be with me, and those who are not shall move with the fallen ones of evil. So it is, for not otherwise could it be. Even unto the midnight hour shall you be awaited, but he who waits unto that hour might very well find the clouds filled, and his space forfeited. It is not as whimsical nor magical as you perceive, foolish little ones. You are somehow going to ascend into the air and unto the clouds to be with him. How? Just drift about in the air somewhere? Where? O foolish sheep, who eat of the local weed, ye shall perish of the poison of foolishness. Here's thy daily bread. You ask me for thy daily bread in your ritual prayer. Well, here it is. You are going to learn of the 7 rays in the ancient orders, the demise of Lemuria and Atlantis, and other civilizations before yours. You are going to learn of the Christed civilization of what you call this New World, geographically. This poor little scribe cannot write enough hours in a day, so you'll need research as you come into your quarries, for it is given unto you, and you did not receive of it. We shall point these things out unto you. Allow a communion with thy ethereal teachers, and then shall you decide, you for yourself and none other. You shall not be given to lean on the truth or the lie of another. 'Tis just you and me, brother, just you and me. So be it, for I have spoken, and having spoken, I expect you to be in the hearing. Thy days are numbered upon that wondrous place of the creation, and you shall be in the accounting for your participation and growth. It is called the Day of Judgment. How will you be judged? How will you be judged? Oh yes, the God within will judge self. Already it is so. For you who have fallen have already judged yourselves unworthy. Ponder this word very, very carefully. You have already judged and are paying the penalties in thy present circumstance, exactly as you have judged thy worthiness. Man has pronounced his doom upon himself, for he has already judged his lot unworthy to survive. This is why the fortune tellers and prophets are always correct, as in the Revelations. For man has already judged himself. So be it. It is done. All to be finished is only in the playing thereof. Let me take departure of you, Dharma, that you might take rest before we move further and deeper into the lessons and remindings of truth. I am that I am Hatan, of the one lighted Creator, Source. That there be no misunderstandings of my presence, for though I have been labeled by many words and utterings, I am that which I am, and thy time of choosing is at hand. And I got a question for you people. This is outside of this. Who told you there's no such thing as aliens? Your government, perhaps? Who are you listening to?